gathered from nowhere. I told you, remember I told you that the streets were empty. Abi, people gathered from nowhere. Nne, ogi nene. Nne, ogi nachigi. Nne, hey, onke tarachigi. Bike man was just telling me, Nne, chori wonwegi. While all these things were happening, I was just on the floor. Shame no gree me stand up. I was just on the floor. When I now gathered the strength, the morale to stand up, they were asking me, did you wound? Are you okay? I just stood up, carry my tray, pick my ogi. I didn't say thing. My target was my dad. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Annabelle Clinton and this is Motherhood Journey with Annabelle Clinton. If this is your first time joining, I want to say welcome and thank you so much for stopping by. And if you are a returning subscriber, I hope you know by now how much I love you. Thank you so much for always stopping by. So this video is going to be like a get ready with me kind of video, because I'm actually going to be doing my makeup, but I'm also going to be telling you guys a story of how I got chased by a dog when I was 12 years old. The first and last time I got chased by a dog while I was little. Stay with me. So growing up with my parents was so cool. More like the coolest thing that ever happened to me. That happened to me as a child, because I didn't really lack anything growing up. My dad was working. He had a business in the north. He was up and doing, yeah. He was doing very well in business. And my mom was just a housewife. She was doing her job as a housewife. She didn't really complain. Everyone was good because dad was providing for everyone. And I was going to one of the most popular school then, private school to be precise. I never went to a government school while I was with my parents, so everything was cool. Feeding, we fed as rich kids, like we never lacked anything, so we were good, right? So it got to a point when my dad's business started shaking. Like I said, he had a business in the north, and at some point we had to move to the east because of the whole fights and bomb issues then. So we couldn't stay in the north any longer. We moved to the village, and from the village we moved to Abia State, Aba to be precise. So when we moved to Abia State, my dad would always go from Abia State to Zamfara State to check on his business. Plus, he had boys, right? He had boys that were taking care of the business in his absence, right? So the plan was to come to Abia State, open a branch at Avia Market then, and move his business to Abia State. Right, so he would always go from Abia State to the north, maybe once in a month or twice in 3 months to check on his business there and check on his boys. So everything was going well until it stopped going well. My dad's boys were not giving accounts of the business the way they were supposed to. More like the business started falling, right? So my dad would always be sad then. This thing I'm applying in my face right now is this thing. I'm trying it for the first time. I'm just trying to moisturize my face to make it fall softer, right? So my dad's business started having problems. Our only source of livelihood then was taken away by the so-called boys, right? So my dad, while trying to start up another business, was also trying to finish his building so we can move in because our rent was almost expired. So because we were just spending from his savings, we stopped living our big life. We stopped living our rich kid life. We had to adjust, and things were not the way it used to be again because we have to move into the new house before the landlord starts giving us issues. So while my dad was on his projects trying to build a house and all, my mom on the other hand wanted to help, right? She wanted to help in some ways, even if it's just to feed, for us to be feeding well. So she just wanted to help and she started looking for a business to do. And mind you, for almost 12 years, my mom has not been working. So it was it was tough for her to start up something solid because she didn't have any experience. Someone that has been a housewife for 12 years, she was just confused, but she just had to do something. Because my mom has lived in the north, she already had an experience of how to make all these pap, zobo, kunu, all those things they drink over there. She already had the experience, so she discussed it with my dad. She said, why don't we start making all these why don't I start making pap and let's see how it goes. Then my dad agreed because he didn't have a choice. We just wanted to survive, right? So my mom started selling pap. At first, my mom started, she would send to shops, she would send to, like she would tie them and take it to shops, more like when you take your product to a supermarket to be sold, she would take it to people's shop and beg them and they would help her sell it. And in the evening, me and my siblings would go and pick the buckets and pick the remaining ones so that my mom would like retie them or put them in a bag in a way of, that's like a way of preserving it so it won't spoil. So she kept doing this, but the business wasn't going, not like it wasn't really going, it was people were buying, like when you start up a new business, everything was dull because we were still trying to let people know that see what we are doing now, the embarrassment. So at the point, the business, sometimes the business would go, we would actually sell, but sometimes we'll bring back our buckets and find out that nothing was sold, so there's no money and no food for today. So I wasn't really satisfied with it, and I would watch my mom complain and go to bed sad. So it really hurt me, so I offered to help. I offered to start hawking. Hey, God. This idea didn't sit well with my dad. We had to talk to him before he accepted. Because we were starving actually. We were starving. My dad was spending from his savings and we just needed something to change. So I started hawking. Every morning I would carry, my mom would tie 15 pieces. We started with 15 pieces of akamu. We have the white, Yoruba calls it ogi, right? My mom would tie it every morning for me, and I will sell and come back before maybe 7:30 or 7:40 and take my bath and go to school. This was how I was managing. Even though whenever I make money, if we save and save and save, if the money comes, the first of all, they will go and pay for my siblings. They will pay for their school fees before they pay for me. I didn't really mind. I was like the sacrificial lamb of my family, right? But I didn't really mind since I was helping and the business was going. So I would go from house to house every morning before I go to school, and they will open the gate. Pico natural akamu, natural akamu, more like, do you want akamu? I have akamu, So this went on for a while, and it actually worked because I would go out with 15 pieces of akamu and I would come back with empty tray, right? Everyone was happy. So that 15 pieces that we were supposed to sell in like in 3 days, if we had been sending them to the normal shop, the normal way we used to do it, I would sell it in a day, right? And I had the face, when they say someone has face of market, people liked me. Even if they don't even want to eat the ogi, they will buy it and put it in the fridge just because it's me, right? So my mom would wake up by 4:30 every morning and start tying ogi. She wake up by 4:30 every morning to start tying it, and by 5:30 she must have been done. She will not only tie my own, she will tie mine and also tie the ones we will take to the shops, because we were still taking to the shops just for, for publicity. Like, we wanted people to know that, oh, this is what we are doing now and we are consistent. So my mom will wake up by 4:30 and start tying this ogi, and by 5:30 she put the tray on my head and I will start going from house to house to hawk. So I would go from house to house and knock and sell, come back by 7:30, take my bath and dress for school. Sometimes I eat, sometimes I'll just rush out because I have to be in school as soon as possible. So this particular day came, and my dad just came back one day and said he heard that there's this house that was built around, and it is called 32 rooms, that the landlord just built 32 rooms and people are renting apartments there, that if I can go there I will sell very well. A house that has 32 rooms, that means they have like 32 occupants, right? So according to what he said it's a house like apartments, but it is 32 rooms. So he said I should go there. He directed me, he just pointed at the side. He said, it's this side. I should go there the next day and know if I will sell. Me, I carry 32 rooms for mind. I really wanted to go there because normally before I will finish my product, I'll go to like I'll walk and walk and walk. I know how many buildings I will go before I will finish my market and go home. So if that 32 rooms actually works, I would have to just spend just maybe like 30 minutes to an hour finish my market and come back home, abi. So I was like excited. So I told my mom that I'll go there the next day. The next day came now, I started walking. I followed my dad's direction. I started looking for this house. The area he pointed at was actually a normal area that I used to go to hawk. So it wasn't really that stressful for me. At first, I was just doing my normal hawking, going from compound to compound, going from compound to hawk, while I was looking for this so-called 32 rooms. And to see how the devil does his thing though. Normally, before I would get to that, the point where I walked to, I would sell, right? I would sell even if it's just half of my product, I would sell. But on this day, I did not sell anything. I was just walking and nobody bought anything. Me, I didn't really bother sha. I was just trying to like locate this place that my dad told me. Even if I've not sold anything, let me sha reach there. Me, I know say with the thing where my father said now, I knew I was going to sell very well once I get to this so-called compound. Normally, share if you are going to somewhere you don't know, you ask questions, Abby. You ask questions. Please, brother, do you know this place? Because you don't know where you are going. I was just following what my dad told me, that the house is long. If I see the house, I will know. The only people I was seeing on the road were students that were of my age, you know, and were going to school. It was still early, so I kept going down. I kept going down. I even passed where I've not gone before. I kept going down inside the street. At this point, I started getting tired. And you remember I said I was seeing kids earlier. I was seeing kids that were going to school, right? I stopped seeing the kids. Everywhere was dry. You know how streets used to be dry when kids has gone to school, right? Everywhere was dry. So I said, let me start going home. Let me start going home. I need to go to school. If daddy asks, I will tell him that I couldn't find it. Maybe tomorrow I'll continue my search. So when I was about to turn, I saw this compound that looks big, but not as big as a 32 rooms. So I said, since I've not sold anything, let me just enter here, even if it's 2 or 1 day, but let me just sell. And before I start going, let me not just turn and go, let me just give faith a trial. And I went and I knocked at this compound. Normally, when I get to any compound that I want to hawk, first of all, I will knock and I will wait to hear a voice. If I don't hear a voice, I won't go in. I will knock and I will wait. And sometimes they will ask me who is there, or someone will come and open the gate, or they will say, come in. So I knocked at this gate and I heard a voice that said, come in. I actually went in. And calm down. This is where the story is. This is where the stew of the story is. I entered. And instead of me to look at the compound, I just entered. I entered and turned and I locked the gate. I never see the compound where I enter. I just enter, turn, and I locked the gate. As I locked the gate now, and I was about to turn and go inside the compound. Now, you know all this village compound, that the gate is very far away from the actual building. Let me turn and I heard, ha! My dear people of the Lord, I turned and I saw 2 Rottweilers in front of me. I saw two Rottweilers in front of one, two were in front of me, one was behind, and they were stared like, you know, that look when a dog just wants to dive you. That was the look on their faces. So I had two options, yeah. Shout and go in, or turn and open the gate and run away. These are the two options on my head while I was looking at those dogs. If I say I should go inside, you know, when dogs, when you shout, they will rush you. When you shout, they will chase you. So they were just looking at me. They wanted me to move first. And me, I just carry my Yogi for head and I seized. I cannot go front. I cannot go back. I was just there. Nobody to come and help me. The voice that I heard that said come in, I did not see that person. No. It was just me like this. So with speed, I said 1, 2, 3, go. I turned and I opened the gate and I ran out. These dogs, they chased me. They chased me out. As I ran out with that speed, the gate was on the road. Like bikes and cars were running along the road. As I ran out like this, this is the gate, this is the road. For me to put my head like this, see bike coming. Guess what happened? I jumped on top of the bike. Like the bike man was coming like this, and I jumped in front of him. I heard him. Me and the man and the bike and my Yogi, we fell inside bush. When the dogs saw that I had fallen, they turned back. They turned back. And it was just me and the bike man. Before you know it, people gathered from nowhere. You know, I told you, remember I told you that the streets were empty. Abi, people gathered from nowhere. Nne, ogin nene. Nne, ogin nachigi. Nne, hey, onke tara achigi. Bike man was just telling me, Nne, chori mwegi. Oh God. While all these things were happening, I was just on the floor. Shame no gree me stand up. I was just on the floor. When I now gathered the strength, the morale to stand up, they were asking me, did you wound? Are you okay? I just stood up, carry my tray, pick my Yogi. I didn't say film. My target was my dad. I didn't say anything. So as I didn't say anything now, people were like, hey, she's still in shock, because my hands were shaking. My body was shaking because I just survived an accident. The bike man now offered to drop me. Where is your house? I pointed at our house direction. Said I should enter. He would drop me. He drove me straight to my house, and he said, will your mom flog you? Because my Yogi fell on the floor. I said, don't worry, sir. Don't worry, sir. I can handle it. I was just holding tears because that kind of shame, I've not seen it before. I entered and I dropped the tray in the sitting room and went straight inside and laid down on the bed and screamed and cried. I've never cried that kind of cry of shame in my life. I screamed and I cried. My mom heard my voice from the kitchen. And when I heard her footsteps, I cleaned my eyes because I'm not going to let someone tell my story. I'll tell my story myself. She came in and she said, Nne, came in. I pointed at my ogi. Say, kissing me, Bella, cooking me. Mother Tiggy. I did not say fem. I asked her, where is my dad? She said, my dad he has gone to work, he has gone to shop. Where are my siblings? They've gone to school. It is to 9. To 9. I said, okay. My mom said, kinky wound. I did not see that wound. I had a wound on my knee and my leg down near my toe. It was then that I saw that I had a wound. My mom said, kinky wound now. Like, why do you have wounds all over your body? I did not say anything. I just started crying again. I did not say anything. I told her, I will tell you what happened when I see Daddy. My mom was worried all through the day because I refused to tell anyone what actually happened. I was just moody all day. I remember what happened, I will start crying again. I remember what happened, I did not eat. I was waiting for my dad to come back. So I think my mom called my dad because she was thinking something bad, like maybe someone beat me up or something like that, or someone touched me or something. So she called my dad, and my dad came back earlier that day, and everyone was like, what happened? And I started telling my story. Started crying, and I was telling my story of how I went to this particular compound. Did I also mention that no one came out from that compound? Even after I fell and the dogs went back, no one came out from that compound to know what happened. Nobody at all. So I still don't know whose voice I heard. So after telling my dad what happened, that was when my dad said he's sorry that the compound he was talking about is actually a hotel. That the person that gave him the gist of this mysterious compound did not tell him it's a hotel. If you are living in Aba and you grew up in Umode, you will know the compound I'm talking about. You will know the 32 rooms I'm talking about. It's actually a hotel, a guest house. So I was looking for a guest house, not a house, not someone's home. Started apologizing and begging me. I refused to accept. I cried and cried and cried. I did not hug for 1 week. I refused to hug for 1 week because what a shame. What a shame. I did not hug for 1 week. They had to beg me to hug again. So this is my story of how I was chased by a dog. Have you been chased by a dog before? Have you had this kind of experience before? If yes, please tell me how your own was on the comment section. I want to know if I'm the only one that has felt this embarrassed in her whole life. I will be there reading your stories. I'll see you in my next video. Like and share my video, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much. I will see you. Bye.